Good morning and welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Brittany, and on this channel, we typically talk all about plants, but today I was going to change it up a little bit. I have, for the past couple months, kind of been MIA because I have started a new little venture, and that is reselling mainly clothing on things like Poshmark, Depop, eBay. And so I wanted to give you guys a little sneak peek at how that is going. It's been a pretty successful side venture. We're going to talk a little bit about some of my plants, and then we're going to do a little haul of what I have picked up recently at the thrift store to resell it online. If you are into stuff like this, or you've been interested in maybe starting reselling, stick around and let's talk about reselling clothing. Okay, so first things first, I did move my office back upstairs. So I wanted to give you a little tour. We have some of my plants, and then I have some reselling stuff. So I've got this nice big wall here where I can do all of my photo taking. And then we've got my Barina light, which is super nice for the plants. I'm still getting some stuff hung on the walls, but we've got Miss Monstera Tycon. We've got our Raven ZZ, and then just a few others. This little asparagus fern is so cute. Focus. This little guy. And then I've got just a little TV so I can watch my shows while I'm packing or while I'm listing. I've got the exercise bike in here. And then in this closet, I do have some storage for this reselling business. And then just a little packing desk. I've got my bags. I've got my little notebook for my notes when I'm listing. My husband recently got me a label printer. It is a whole story, so I'll tell you that in a little bit. And then that's the room. I'm really excited about it. Okay, so super excited about the new office. I think it's gonna be really nice. And then it's also a great place for me to do plant chores. Before, I was down in the basement and was using a ton of grow lights, and I was like running up and down the stairs every day to water my plants. So having some of them, whether they need a little TLC or just ones that we wanna look at a little bit more often upstairs in my office, I think it's gonna be great. So here's what I think we're gonna do. I'm gonna do a couple updates on some of the plants that just need some updates. And then in between, I'm gonna talk about this whole reselling thing and give you a haul of some recent stuff that I've picked up. So if you're not super into like the chit chatty part, I'll leave that for the end. Do the plants, do the haul first, and then we'll go from there. So the first one I did want to update you guys on is this fiddle leaf fig. If you have not been around for a little bit, I had a larger fiddle leaf fig that died, as they do, and I took a tiny, tiny little cutting from it. It was just one little twig with a leaf on it, and I put it in some water, and it grew, and it really started thriving. It sits in my windowsill in our entryway, and this thing, I decided to just keep it in water and ignore the grossness that is right now, but it absolutely loves it. And so that's why I like to update on this little plant, because I know that a lot of us struggle with fiddle leaves. So I just kind of tell everyone, put it into water and see what happens. It is constantly getting new leaves, and the leaves are hardy, and they do come with a little bit of discoloration from taking in too much water at first. And then as they develop, then they just kind of go to that normal green, beautiful leaf color. So if you're really struggling with your fiddle leaf fig, maybe try it in water. I don't plan on taking this out of water. This is just how it is going to live. I do have a second plant that's kind of the same story. So let me grab that, and then we'll do a little haul of some clothing. Okay, so my second water plant, hydro growing plant, is this gorgeous Thanksgiving cactus. And this one I had purchased about a year ago. So for Valentine's Day, the special education department at my school that I teach at was doing some life skills. And so they were doing cuttings and then growing plants in water to then sell at our school to teachers. And so I bought one and a spider plant at the same time. And this was just kind of like a tiny little cutting off of one of the teachers' big Thanksgiving cactus plants. And I just left it in the water that they had sent it in. They did have a whole sheet about how to replant it into soil. But this thing, I'm telling you, has tripled in size in a year, even in water. It had beautiful blooms around Christmas time, Thanksgiving time. I'll show you a picture. They were so pretty. But this is another plant that I do not plan on taking out of water. It just is absolutely thriving. You can see even now, focus, all the new growth, all these new light leaves. It is just awesome. So another one, if you're struggling, I told my mom hers is really struggling. And I said, maybe just try it in water. Even if you take a cutting and just kind of try that. Or the other thing you can do is take the roots out of the soil. You want to wash them really, really well until you can see these beautiful white roots. If you put it into water and it's got soil on it, sometimes that can hinder the growth process of the roots because it's not like retaining the water as it should. So you can take it out, put it into water. Let me know how it goes. If you're really struggling with some of these, I have found success in a fiddle leaf fig and a Thanksgiving cactus just growing in water. So let me know what you think. Okay, so for the reselling business, like I said, this has taken up some of my time over the last couple of months. I kind of decided in January that I wanted to do something to assist in the purchase of our first house. And I was like, how can I make some extra money to go towards a down payment? We're really hoping to buy a house in 2026. That is the goal. And so I had started seeing some videos about reselling clothing, and I had done kind of a closet clean out at my house and had a couple things that I didn't really want anymore, but I knew were in great condition and other people would want. Things like some Miss Me jeans, some shoes. And so just on a whim one day in January, about mid-January, I made a Poshmark, a Depop, and an eBay account. And I just started putting things on there and they started selling and I started seeing money come in. And so after I show you what I got yesterday at the thrift store, I'm gonna go into a little bit more depth about the actual process of that, some of the things that I'm doing that I'm learning specifically and that I'm doing to make my life a little bit easier. And then we'll talk about kind of the ups and downs of it. And I'm hoping as a new reseller that I can help you if you're thinking about getting into it, but then also our community can kind of chime in on things that they've learned, because there are so many people out there that have so much experience and are willing to share it. Everything that I have learned or that I know, I've learned from YouTube. And there's some really awesome channels out there. So let's get into this haul. I got some really fun stuff at the thrift store yesterday, just the Goodwill in my town. I do live in kind of a small town. I live in Wyoming and it is the biggest city in Wyoming, but we still do only have about 65,000 people. And so we've got a mall and a Dillard's and like a men's warehouse, but it's not like a big city where we have a ton of stuff. So even in a small town, you can find some amazing stuff. So I wanted to show you what I found. So some of these are on, here comes the puppy. Some of these are on hangers because I have been working on listing them to get them up as soon as possible. And I will add comps and what these sell for. The first one is this Bobby Jones golf vest. This is a really high-end golf line and it is really great condition, beautiful golf vest, a size large, and it is 100% Pima cotton. And I thought it was just so nice for the season coming up. It is March now, but even in Wyoming, it is 80 degrees today. It's crazy. So there is that. The second thing is this Frank and Eileen 1947 Finbar button-up size large shirt. You guys, this is an expensive brand. These shirts retail for close to $300 and it's just like in beautiful condition. It is a fun, let's see, material too. It's 54% lyocell and 46% cotton, woven in Italy and made in Mexico. So really beautiful shirt. I do have this listed on my site. The next little bunch of things that I found, they have to all have come from the same person. So the first is this really pretty, perfect for spring, Ralph Lauren, not even Polo Ralph Lauren, just Ralph Lauren, purple with the green logo, polo, 100% cotton. And then I got this really pretty Ralph Lauren again. All of these are Ralph Lauren, not Lauren Ralph Lauren. So these all retail for about $150 or so. This is a purple gingham with the green horse again. This one is the same. It's just this pink and blue, I think perfect for Easter, Ralph Lauren button up. Everything is a size large, so that's why I'm like, oh, this all came from the same person. The next one is this blue and green checkered plaid button up by Ralph Lauren, all size large again. And then this is just kind of a basic blue, same exact shirt. It has the really cute orange. I'm in Wyoming, so we're in Denver Broncos country, and this just reminds me of the Denver Broncos with the blue with the orange logo. And then you can see here is the same thing, this pink striped. Okay, so my camera died, so same thing. This is the pink in the Ralph Lauren. Really pretty. The horse is kind of just that classic polo logo. And I found all of those, and then there was a bunch more. There were some Brooks Brothers shirts, some Untuck It shirts, a bunch more Ralph Lauren, and I left them because I don't need a super ton of inventory. I'm very part-time right now. Let's continue on though, because I think this was a couple. So another little bunch of things that I had found together and I grabbed some of is these two J. Crew like waffle light sweatshirts. And so we've got the white one. This is an extra large, and J. Crew is a great higher end brand as well. And then the same exact sweater in a pink. I just thought it was really pretty, extra large, like new condition, probably worn once or twice. And then with that is this J. Crew midi dress, and it is so cute. And I have already listed this. It is a size, I think, large, and I've gotten a lot of interest in this. So this is what it looks like. It's got these slits, so stinking cute, like new condition as well. And then I did find, I think it's in my kitchen, a J. Crew set of pajamas, and I'll just flash a little picture of it. They're just like plaid pajama set, really nice quality as well. J. Crew's a great brand. Okay, pause. Here are those J. Crew jammies, the top and then just the bottoms. And then this little pajama bottom set, which I actually might keep this for myself. We'll see. Okay, back at it. With that, another J. Crew. This is just their linen, dropping everything on the ground. Their linen tee, 100% linen tee, XL, made in the Philippines. Really pretty, that beautiful like linen material. Yesterday I also found this really pretty Patagonia green Los Gatos size large vest and this is like the T-snap Patagonia like quarter snap, in the gray with the cream, size large as well. So really pretty. And then the last thing that I found are these Chico's pants. They're size 1T, which is the US size 810, made in Mexico. And they're these black, like really bouncy, kind of almost shimmery pants. They are like brand new pants. They're so nice, so lightweight, so bouncy. The material is like really nice. And that is that. 2 pairs of J. Crew pajamas that are in my kitchen. Like I said, I'll just show you those. And that was my haul from yesterday. So I figured I would just show you what are some things that I'm picking up, looking to sell online. What can I get in my small town, Wyoming, to kind of help you? So if you've got any interest in talking about what's selling for you guys, we would love to hear it down in the comments. What types of things are you picking up? This is more probably Poshmark, eBay type of stuff. And then I do pick up for Depop as well. That does really well with more fast fashion. American Eagle does really well. Victoria's Secret I've found does really well. And so that's kind of what I'm selling on there. I didn't get much yesterday. Nike sells super well over there. We would love to hear what you are selling on Depop. It is, Depop's like a whole different world. And so I do well on that as well. Just not a ton of those type of brands. So last thing we're gonna do is really, really quickly talk about some of the things that I have learned over the last 2 months of doing reselling, mainly from watching YouTube videos. Like I said, I'm hoping that starting this and kind of documenting online is gonna help some other people as well as I go through this learning process. So mid-January is when I started doing this. In January, I was listing a lot of the things from my own closet, from my kids' closet, from my husband's closet. And then I was picking up some things on Facebook Marketplace. People were trying to kind of get rid of their old stuff. And so I was posting those. And in that first month, after all the fees, so all of the listing fees from Poshmark, eBay, so on, and all of my cost of goods, I did net profit $150. And I was like, awesome, like $150 extra. And so then I stepped up a little bit in February. February for me was kind of hard. I had multiple days in a row that I wasn't selling anything online, even though I was listing every day. And in the end, the net profit in February was $455. So even as a slow month, it really had picked up. And now we've got about a week left. I think today's the 25th of March. I'm on spring break as a teacher. I don't need to know what day it is. And so far my net profit in March has been about $450. So pretty good. With another week left, I am hoping to get over that $500 mark. My little short-term goal that I have in my head is just to make more money each month than I did the month before. And like I said, this is all going into a separate bank account. It's accelerated, so it's building interest, and eventually will go toward a down payment on our house that we're hoping to get this year. So as we go through this and I'm documenting, I'm going to give you guys some tips on what I'm doing for things like listing, shipping. One of the big changes I've made over the last week or so, 2 weeks, is that I did get a label printer just off of Amazon that I'm now printing all of my labels at home. I would package everything in poly mailer bags, and then my husband would take them to the post office, have them print the labels and ship them out on his way to work, which is amazing. He's been super supportive and helpful. But there was one day that a couple of shipments got switched, and I think it was like a QR code issue at the post office. And so he just went ahead and bought a shipping label maker. And I don't think it was super expensive online. And so I have been just, as orders come in, package it, ship the label, knock it on there, and then he takes it and just drops everything off at the post office. So that has been a big change that I've made, and I think it's gonna be more efficient and less chance of any mix-ups happening. So that is kind of the gist. Tomorrow I'm gonna do a kind of like my process that I have found. I'm trying to list 3 to 5 items online per day. So I will show you how I do this as somebody who has a full-time job, who has kids, and is not trying to make this like a huge part of my day. And then I'll show you the shipping process, and hopefully we can have some what sold tomorrow. So if you are into this and you're interested in talking reselling, giving tips, like learning from each other, or if you're thinking about getting into it, make sure that you click subscribe, and we're just gonna kind of keep this community sharing our best tips, and hopefully we can all grow together and make some money in 2026 and hit our goals, whether that be a house, a vacation, paying off some debt. And I think this is a great way to do it, so I'm super excited. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, let's get it out there, and good luck in your reselling.